Boeing's popular plane is being grounded around the globe. From Europe to Asia, governments are keeping Boeing's newest jet from flying, following the crash over the weekend of an Ethiopian commercial flight. As we reported, the plane in question is Boeing's 737 MAX 8. The FAA says the airliner is airworthy. In a statement, the company said, quote, "Safety is Boeing's #1 priority, and we have full confidence in the safety of the MAX," end quote. But that's not enough for lawmakers in Washington, who are calling on the FAA to reverse its decision. Senator Ted Cruz, who chairs a subcommittee on aviation, says he plans to hold a hearing on the fatal crashes of 2 Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets since October. And that sent the stock down another 6% in trading today. Phil Lebeau has been covering the story for us all along. It's good to see you, Phil. So with all these groundings, how much pressure is the FAA under, and the airlines that fly the plane, American and Southwest and others?
And United, as well as Air Canada here in North America. So there is immense pressure, not only on the airlines, but also on the FAA, because the FAA is feeling heat not only from lawmakers in Washington. There were tweets today by the president talking about the complexity of airplanes and whether or not they're too complex. That led to a phone call between President Trump and Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg, where Dennis Muilenburg reaffirmed his belief that the planes that Boeing makes are safe, including the 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9. So the question becomes, does that pressure, which is growing clearly day by day, does it reach a point where the FAA says, let's ground these planes until we have some answers? At this point, I don't think it's reached that level. Now, that could change. It could change if the president puts pressure on the Secretary of Transportation, Elaine Chao, and says, look, a lot of people are uncomfortable about this. Right. Let's just shut it down until we have more answers.
Well, clearly, the MAX 8 has become the most popular plane for Boeing. It's a growth driver for the future, that's for sure. So do you think that some of this is a business decision on their part not to call for a grounding?
No, because the FAA is pretty serious, very serious when it comes to any idea of something being wrong, a defect, something just not working the way it is expected to work with these airplanes. Remember, Bill, they get reams and reams and reams of data on every flight when these planes are taking off and landing. So they know by now, 41,000 flights by Southwest Airlines, and the pilots and the airline are saying, we're not seeing anything that is unusual here. And that's one factor behind the FAA saying, look, if we thought something was wrong, if we truly thought something was wrong about a particular part or a component, we would shut it down. But they don't have that evidence yet.
Yeah. On that note, Phil, thank you. Phil Lebeau.
You bet.